special episode of Show Pony. I'm almost halfway through with season 2, and this episode I've been dreading for a long time. I finally got to the spot where Doug's health starts to suffer. I'm not going to go through the minutiae of this episode because we have a very special guest, and I don't want to get behind. So the basic gist of this episode is Jackie's still a lesbian, Jesse and Doug are still having rivalry, and then the big moment is that Doug has to be put in a drug-induced coma. We find out he had a terrible flu. It grew into an infection, and we've known this is coming for a long time, and this is the episode where it all goes down. But Jesse is going to come on the show, I think, next week, so we'll break it all down with him. This episode is going to be more about traveling back. We're going to take a walk down Bravo memory lane with someone who was there. Jeff Lewis, star of Flipping Out and my SiriusXM colleague. I cornered him in the conference room and asked him a bunch of questions. I wanted to know, what was it like to have a show on Bravo at the time? How much did you get paid? How was the show pitched? I wanted to know if he watched Workout, if he met Jackie at the upfronts. I figured Jackie had to know Jeff from their days of both headlining Bravo shows back in the mid-2000s. So I wanted to get his take and to find out some of the origins of Flipping Out as well. And I know you guys are just suckers for Jeff anyway. So for those of you who really want the recap, don't worry. It's coming. But now travel back in time with me with Jeff Lewis to the mid-2000s when Jackie was on TV, Tabitha, Kathy Griffin, and all of the heroes of a generation. You have to kind of hold it like this.
Okay.
Oh, is this bad? Should we scissor? Hi, Shane.
Hi. I'll sit here.
No, sit there. I think it's not. It's actually nice. Why don't you sit there? It'll be.
So
like
I heard you had a
nice.
hair transplant. How's it
I did.
growing in?
Well, it's not gonna. You can't see anything till July next
Okay.
month.
When did you do it?
March.
What areas did you focus on?
This corner. They strengthened the hairline. It's like a triangle.
See, it's good to do it before you need it.
Well, I'm starting to see the holes.
Yeah, me too.
Like, especially in those studios with the lights, you can see the holes. I never see your holes. Even though I'd like to. Wow, thanks for doing this.
Sure. Oh, are we on live right now?
Oh, yeah, I just started it.
Oh shit. Okay. So what is this for?
Okay, so I'm doing a podcast about some vintage Bravo shows. I'm starting with Workout.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, I interviewed Jackie.
Okay.
Did you watch Workout?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
I don't know.
I want to talk to you because you had a show on at the same time.
Yeah, she wasn't. She was friendly with you.
Well, yeah, she
I don't
was.
find her very warm, and I don't think she's very friendly. And she hasn't been very. I've never. I don't know. She has some sort of issue with me, but I don't know. Maybe I did something. Maybe I said something. I don't recall why we would have any sort of beef, but I think she has beef with me.
What are your memories of her from that time? Flipping Out was on.
Yeah.
Which was first?
You know what? I think Blowout was first, right?
Blowout was first, before everything.
I think I started filming in 2007, and I think it aired in 2008, I believe.
Then Workout was first. It was 2006.
Oh, so she was first.
Season
Okay.
1 is 2006. Yeah. So you didn't really watch the show, but you obviously met through like.
Oh, I watched her show.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I liked it. I watched it.
Yeah. What'd
Yeah.
you think?
Look, I thought she was a very intense personality. There was a lot of drama in her life. The people that surrounded her, and I didn't think it was a bad show. I thought it was actually a good show. I
was a good show.
I remember watching it.
She was like a big deal.
She was a big deal for
Especially gay, lesbian moments on TV.
And she was attractive.
Yeah.
And was Rachel Zoe around too at that
Yeah.
time? Okay. And then Patty Singer.
Patty Singer, Tabitha.
Oh, I forgot about Tabitha was there that early. Yes, Tabitha.
Well, because she had been on Blowout. Or Sheer Genius. That's what I meant.
She's one of my favorites.
She's my favorite, I think, personality of all time.
Yeah.
When do you get her on Jeff Lewis Live?
She was on Jeff Lewis Live. She was going through a hard time when she was on.
Oh, I think someone passed away, her girlfriend.
Her wife.
Wife, damn.
So, but yes, no, she's been on. I really like her. I've always really liked her.
I want her to take over my life.
We've got along. We always got along very well. Rachel was, I think, the first time I met her, she was a bit chilly, but I actually think she's shy because then when I met her the second time, she was much more friendly. So when I first met her, I'm like, oh, she's a bitch, whatever. But then the second time, she was so friendly that my deduction was that she was shy. I don't really have much interest in women's fashion.
I don't either.
However, her passion
Yeah.
is really, I find it so interesting. And I would find myself just kind of captivated with her because she's somebody who loves their craft.
Right.
And she really is good at what she does. And I found it to be, a bit captivating.
Well, to be honest, I'm the same way with house flipping and design, but I'm entertained by you and I like your show. So
Yeah.
like watching someone do what they do well, doesn't matter what, even like
Tabitha.
working out, like no, you're not really seeing anyone work out or do anything in the gym.
Right. But when you're watching these people that are, top of their game and they're experts in their field and they're, you just kind of, I don't know, I respect their passion and their drive and their ambition and their dedication.
Totally. What was the like ballpark pay scale for a reality show in the early 2000s on Bravo?
My situation was a little different.
Why?
Because they had sold the show before I had a contract. So I've talked about this. This was a very big mistake by the production company. So
you didn't leverage anything going in, like the show is nothing without me. They had a show, and if you want to be on it, here's your pay.
Yeah. So what happened is they had offered me, I think it was $3,500 for the pilot, $2,500 per episode, and I took, this is in 2007, and I was unknown, completely unknown.
Right.
So
shows like that were unknown. There weren't a bunch of shows on TV like that.
And I took the contract home, and I just didn't sign it. I didn't read it. I didn't do anything, and it just was sat on my desk. And then the production company went out and they sold the show before they had their talent attached. So when they came back and they said, we have an offer from Bravo for 6 episodes straight to series, I said, great. I said, but I can't work for this kind of money. So I ended up starting at $18,500 an episode in 2007. That's pretty good money for an unknown first season.
Yeah.
And then it just went up from there.
Wow. Okay, that's pretty good though. You got your way up to 18.5. I just wonder what Jackie made.
I'm nowhere near that, I would think. I mean, obviously you get raises after every season.
Yeah.
So I don't know
how many seasons was Flipping Out on?
11.
11 seasons?
Yeah.
Damn, Workout was only on for 3, and they were like 8 episodes each.
Well, it's funny because I've talked about this also, but Andy said that these docuseries, they only last maximum 3 seasons. So he said, you take advantage of the opportunities, and that's what I did. And
well, that was probably true.
It is true.
And your show's a little bit of an anomaly.
Right, and we didn't really produce or set anything up, and it was shot like a documentary, which I don't know if they do that anymore because it took a lot of time. I mean, you're looking at 10 days, long days for one episode.
Right. And would you consult with them about, here's the story arc of this general episode?
Never. In fact, in the beginning, they had actually put together a story arc, and I'm like, what are you talking about?
Right.
So no, that's not this show. Like, you're going to follow me,
right?
And you're going to have to work with whatever I give you or whatever. Yeah. And I think the secret was to always stay very busy.
Yeah.
And I always had a lot of personalities around me, and big personalities, but just a lot of people in general with a very busy life, and it just kind of wrote itself.
Yeah. I produced D List. And that shit was very written out.
Yes.
From all the beats were written out. But it worked that way for us. We liked it.
And I liked Life on the D List. I did like that show. Kathy was one of those people back in the day. What I have experienced with Kathy is that, and I think maybe in comedians in general, because sometimes, and I'm sure you might have comedians on your show, sometimes they come with like these pre-written bits.
They don't work.
And they very much try to pivot.
Yeah.
So they can perform their bits. But the thing about Kathy is, and I got to know her behind the scenes because we became friends. I kind of consulted her in her house, and she's so funny off the cuff.
Totally.
Actually, I think she's funny.
The funnier stuff is not the stuff you plan.
She's funnier off the cuff.
Yeah.
And I always thought to myself, like, these comedians, especially somebody like Kathy, who's so smart and witty, you know, you don't even need to pre-write this shit.
No.
You're so good.
Well, I'll say we didn't pre-write any like jokes, but we set up the story kind of arc about like she's going to go to the Apollo, and then we would write it out like, how will that go? You know what I mean? Like you kind
Yeah.
of point towards different things that could happen, and then she always thought of stuff in the moment that was really funny and better than.
I feel like, you know, the really, I think the closest thing we got to producing is if, let's just say Ryan and I had some sort of tiff about something and they would want, you know, hey, you know, is there any way we could get a little more of that? And then, but what was great about it is they gave me such freedom. So it wasn't like, okay, tomorrow at 11 o'clock, I would just know we've got to film. We got 5 days filming this week. At one point, when it feels right and organic, if you could just, you know, talk a little bit more about that. So I would get very kind of a little bit of direction if they felt they needed something.
Sure.
But we mostly delivered. And I think, you know, we also didn't make much waves. They didn't, believe it or not. Like Jenny and I kind of kept our head down.
Yeah.
And we didn't cause any problems, and we delivered year after year. We didn't, you know, we weren't calling Andy or calling Bravo executives. We weren't complaining. I mean, towards the end, things got a little contentious, but for the most part, I would say they never really heard from us. And I think it was smart to stay under the radar because they just thought, this show is doing well.
Easy.
They're easy.
Yeah.
They don't bother us.
Yeah.
And I also made the point, too, with Andy, which I think is why Andy and I became, you know, there were times in our lives where we've been close. But I think what he appreciated is I never talked about work with him.
Yeah.
So if I was in New York, he'd be like, hey, let's get a drink or let's go to dinner. And I didn't talk about production, and I didn't complain about, you know, producers or camera guys or co-stars, or we just went out and had a good time.
But you also have a life. You have
Yeah.
other things going on.
I think a lot of people thought that Andy favored me because I was gay, and that really wasn't it at all. It was really, I mean, sure, we have that in common, but I think he would always, you know, if I was in New York, we would always make plans. If he was in LA, we would always make plans. We had some really fun nights going out together, but
Who bottomed?
you're funny. But we never hooked up. We never crossed that line. Could we have? I think I was always in relationships.
Yeah.
So I think early on there was probably a mutual attraction, but that wasn't the basis of our friendship, our relationship. But I think there was a bit of a mutual attraction in the beginning. But you know, Andy's extremely professional, and I was in a relationship, and I was, you know, loyal to the people I was with, and it just never really panned out that way.
Yeah.
And I'm glad.
Yeah. And look at you now.
Well, you know,
The longevity of the relationship.
he's given me he's giving me, like he's giving me 2 careers,
Yeah.
a lot of opportunities, and I appreciate that.
Yeah. He's the best.
I have nothing negative to ever say
for
about
like
Andy.
a couple of decades, I was like, when are you gonna show that you're really an asshole deep down? And it never has ever happened. And now he's just the greatest friend I've ever had.
Don't get me wrong. He can be bitchy. He can be
He can be
short.
bitchy.
He can be distracted. I mean, there's a lot of, but no, I don't think he's ever been an asshole to me. No.
No, he loves you. What about, so you're still doing Hollywood House Lift?
No,
Are
that
you gonna
was
go back to Bravo?
That was canceled after 2 seasons, and then yes, I've been talking to Bravo.
I know people who discovered Hollywood House Lift and not having seen Flipping Out and became fans of yours. They really liked it.
Thank you. I think it was a great show. It just, there was a lot of turnover over at Amazon and some restructuring and things like that.
Freebie, like what is Freebie?
Right. And then, but I'm confident that we're going to put this show together with Bravo. We're just waiting on the releases from Sirius, which has been quite a challenge, but I hear that we've made a lot of progress because, a big part of my life now is radio.
Right.
So you can't do a docu-series about my life and not include radio, but we need access to radio.
It's
we would need the release from Sirius, which I believe, like I said, in fact, I heard something encouraging about 2 days ago that they're pretty close to putting a deal together.
If you do another show with Bravo, what would you do differently than you didn't know during Flipping Out? Get a better deal up front.
I don't know if I would. I felt like there was a lot of, in hindsight, there was a lot that ended up on that cutting room floor.
Well, you shot so much because you didn't.
We shot so much,
Yeah.
and I feel like we wouldn't need to be shooting as much. It was quite a commitment.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking, 8 a.m. they're in and cameras are up. And a lot of times we were lucky if they were out by 5. I mean, sometimes it would go to 7. So they were very long days and a lot of really funny moments too that they just didn't have space for.
Yeah.
So I felt like in a way we overshot a bit. Now, it is a fine line because now we've been talking about kind of these, what does the production schedule look like? I don't want to film too little either because I don't want to be in a position where we don't have content and then now you're creating content. You're setting things up. You're doing. So I said to them, this is going, with the production company, we've been talking to 32 Flavors, this show is going to require a little bit more shooting than others because I will not fake it.
Yeah.
I will not fake it. So that said, I don't think we need to do 5 days a week. Maybe it's 4 one week, maybe it's 3 the next.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Have you told Shane that you have to replace him yet? I'm sorry. Oh my God, I forgot you were here.
No, Shane is TV gold.
I know. He's your ace in the hole.
Yeah.
So to speak.
And then Zoila's still around. And I have, we always have this cast of characters around me with, big personalities. I love people that make me laugh.
Yeah.
And
yeah, you always pick good people, entertaining people, even on your radio shows.
I mean, I don't know about good people, but they're, some are good, some are bad, some are, they all seem to be entertaining.
They're not boring.
They're not boring.
Yeah.
And
they're all hot, except Shane.
In this business, what we do, unfortunately, you have people that will apply under the guise of, I'm interested in flipping houses, or I'm interested in, interning behind the scenes at radio, whatever.
Right.
But really, they want to be on radio and they want to be on TV.
Well, that's what Jackie said. She said all the trainers were not
sniff it out.
trainers. They were actors who wanted to be on TV.
Well, that wasn't the case with Flipping Out. I mean, Jenny really did work for me.
Yeah.
So did her husband. We had a few that, although they were never actors, but although they did the job, I realized that they had different career aspirations.
Right. Yeah.
And so maybe they weren't that passionate about design and house flipping, but really wanted to be on Flipping Out.
Yeah.
And there was 1 or 2 of those that we sniffed out, and we took care of that. We replaced them. Jenny and I were very proud about it because the show was so authentic. Mm-hmm. And I think that was one of the reasons why it resonated with so many people. That and all the characters, because if you didn't like Zoila, you liked Jenny. If you didn't like Jenny, you liked Sarah, whatever it was. You really never know what is going to happen in this business. And after a while in season 11, well, I was in the process of negotiating a new deal with Bravo, and it was including 2 guaranteed seasons of Flipping Out. So I was actually rather kind of shocked when they didn't pick up season 11. And there's things that are out of our control. Yeah. So you think that your show's going to go on and on and on.
Yeah.
But a co-star could do something that then causes the show to be canceled, or network executive, maybe you have this network executive that's championing your show and they leave, and now someone new comes in and they want to go in a different direction.
That's happened to me before.
You never really know. So the one thing that I'm so glad I did, which again is partly because of Andy, Andy kind of telling me that this thing is done after 3 seasons.
Right.
That I never gave up my day job.
Yeah.
And when it was canceled, it could have been devastating had I not had a career already.
Right.
So it was certainly there was some getting used to the new life, but I was never worried about paying my bills.
Yeah.
Which I imagine there's a lot of people out there that have become full-time reality stars, which is not a real career.
Well, not to bring it back to Jackie, but she moved back in with her parents in Ohio. And when I interviewed her, she was in like the basement of her, I think she might live on her own now, but I think that, she tried to keep her day job, but it didn't work out as well
Oh, really?
Well, she got a DUI. She lost a lot of money. Like, her business was tied into wellness and health. And if you show
Yes.
up at 7-Eleven in your panties and flip-flops on Ambien, drunk, and get arrested, people don't want to go to you for lifestyle and health and wellness advice, right? So I think
Yeah,
it
no,
kind of,
that probably wouldn't be the first person I would go to.
I mean, I would maybe, but yeah, I think it kind of dinged
Interesting.
her reputation a little bit.
Look, I hope that people evolve, learn, mature.
Well, she's a life coach now.
Oh, well, you know what? She probably has a lot of experience.
Exactly. That's what she said.
She's been through it. She's made mistakes.
Yeah.
She was self-destructive.
And she's good at telling people, here's what you need to do, you know? Can you life coach me?
Oh, I don't know if you want me to.
Can I have a labubu?
I do have some at home. I've got more coming too.
Okay, when I move to New York, will you give me some design tips for my small 2-inch apartment?
There was I don't know, there's a theory of why you moved.
Why?
That Oscar was making you uncomfortable.
I'm getting transgender surgery.
That Oscar's, he's a little obsessed with you, and that he was making you uncomfortable, and that was the theory that was flying around today here at SiriusXM, and that's why you moved. Well,
I'm gone
The
forever.
joke's on you because I think he has actually
Is he moving to New York?
applied for a transfer.
He's actually, well, I haven't told you
You might
this.
have to go to Nashville or Miami.
This is the best. I will miss this when I go to New York.
Is Oscar following you?
Well, I was not going to say this, but
Do we say that who Oscar is?
we're actually going to live together.
Oscar is he one of our producers?
Yeah, he's a
And he was one of your producers.
Yeah, he was my board op. But then I think it was a job, what's it called? Promotion.
Well,
To go to you.
he went to permanent part-time.
Yeah. It's so shady. They do that so that they don't have to give anybody benefits.
Of course.
They
That's
used to do that-
exactly why they do it. Does Sirius pay benefits for you?
No.
Yeah, same. I don't get anything. And do they salary you, and do you get days off? Do you get like a paycheck every 2 weeks?
I get a paycheck once a month.
Do you have to bill for your shows?
No.
See, I have to bill for my shows.
Jeff, I don't know. I honestly don't know how it happens. I just like randomly get money sometimes. Like there's no invoicing and there's no, I don't invoice them and they don't really send me a pay stub. It just kind of appears.
In
And I
your
go,
account?
Okay.
And the amount's consistent?
It is consistent.
I get random. You know what? Now that I think about it, like quarterly, I get
get
random
quarterly.
shit. Random. Where is it coming from?
I get a drop.
What's it for?
And I don't know how to.
You might be getting a percentage of advertising.
I am not getting a
Well, that would explain the random number.
I don't know.
Okay.
Either way.
But are you happy?
I am happy.
Yeah, I'm happy too.
Yeah.
You know who else has been a little easier to deal with is Bravo.
Yeah.
They're loosening up.
Yeah.
They used to own us. I mean, they would put us in a cage.
They were so
would,
snobby too about their content too. Like now I feel like they're a little bit more flexible.
They used to. I mean, they handcuffed me for years, and now they're a little bit. I feel like they're a little looser. Like I think they're starting to see the bigger picture. Like, okay, let Jeff go do this show because that brings more eyes and ears to our network. So I feel like they're a little more open-minded now. But I think they were a little fear-based, like so afraid of losing us,
Right.
that they wouldn't let us outside the building,
Right.
and they would not let us do anything else really without permission. And most of the time, it was a no.
I'm excited to see what happens for you next. I feel like this is a whole new era.
Well, what I would like to do is I'd like to keep, and it depends who owns it and all of this, but I'd like to keep the same title and just do Flipping Out season 12
Oh, really?
after a 7-year pause. 7 or 6?
7.
I think, yeah.
Did you kick around any other titles?
No. Why would we? It's already branded. It's already, like, you're going to get a guaranteed.
And it's about the same thing. So that's my question. Is it even though radios may be involved, is it
Yeah.
going to be still flipping houses?
Yeah, I mean, it's still a little flipping. It's still a little design. It's still a little, it's radio. It's still home life. It's the same show. It's just, minus a few characters. But then we've added on a few new characters over the years organically. Like, this is what's happened. This person left. This person got hired.
And this is such a good home base too. Like the radio show is a good tent pole for whatever episode is happening. You guys are always kind of like discussing and processing.
You're right. We're discussing. I have 2 hours each day.
Yeah.
So we're discussing whatever's going on in my life on the radio.
Yeah.
So that's why you need the radio.
Yeah. I mean, people are so obsessed with the radio. It's just,
They see it.
I mean, ChumpCon,
Right.
like you have people willing to travel the country to go convene and goon all over your face just to be near you.
Yeah, I didn't think of it that way. Goon on my face, but yeah. They do like attending.
Do white women goon? That'll be the title of this episode. I'll let you go. Thank you so much for your time. I might
are
have
you kicking
back.
me out? I
Yeah,
was just
no. You go back to your day.
I don't care. But
No, you answered even more than I had thought.
okay.
Wow.
Thanks for having me here in the conference room
Thank you.
of SiriusXM.
You're welcome. Thanks for joining.
When
Come
do
back.
you move?
October, November, maybe.
What's the
You
hold up?
I was looking a little bit, and then
So you haven't found an apartment yet?
No, I need to go back and like find an apartment that I like. I wanted my contract to be done when I got, because like it was going to be over in October. So I was showing landlords like, hey, I have a job that might end, but if I go in October, I'll say here's a job that maybe it's for 3 more years.
Yes.
It'll look cuter. And I think the apartments there will be better things available. When I was looking downtown in the Village in Chelsea, it was all NYU girlies who were so rich, and we were competing for the same like studio, because in their minds they were looking at room and board that their parents have saved for 20 years, and they were like, oh, $6,000 a month, that's not that bad, like.
What are you looking at for a nice apartment in New York? Where are you going to live? You say
I can't. I'm too old. I don't have the energy to live in like Queens or Brooklyn. I'm not living. I can't.
Okay.
So I'm gonna have to live downtown somewhere. I maybe Upper West Side if I must.
what is a nice one-bedroom apartment? 5, 6?
Five's the average Manhattan rent. I pay $2,300 a month now in LA, and I love my apartment here. I love it.
But you'll get rid of your car, right?
Oddly enough, I like having a car in New York.
Okay, so
but
you're going to
yes,
pay, because now you're going to pay for parking.
but the thing is, in New York, parking there is minimum $350 a month.
Yes.
That's such bullshit. So I think I will get rid of the car.
Right.
Do you want it? You can get repoed.
Oh, you have the Tiguan.
It's the Taos.
Oh, the Taos.
I love my Taos. I never want any
But
other
is it a
car.
lease or do you own it?
It's a lease.
When's the lease up?
Fucking 2 years from now.
Shit. You might be able to get someone to just take over the lease.
I think so. Or I had a friend who was like, if you drive it into the dealership and it has no miles on it,
Oh, they might buy it out.
they might just be like, yeah, we'll take it back.
They did that with Doug's Audi. They bought it back, but just because he wanted to trade it in early. But if not, you could get someone to take over your payments.
Yeah. Are you interested in a car?
We're always running into people that need cars. What year is it?
It's a 2024.
Oh, it's like brand new.
I just got it in October.
Holy shit.
It's a great car.
What's the payment?
$500 a month.
That's great. It's a
know.
great payment.
I know.
Okay.
It has a sunroof.
I'm going to
It's
think
cute.
about this and I'll let you know.
It's in perfect condition, and I love Volkswagen. I love that you drive it
I do
in,
too.
and you're like, it says it needs washer fluid. You handle it, and they'll do it.
Oh, service-wise?
Yeah, you just kind of like make it. You're like, your car's. There's something happening with your car.
All right, so you're waiting for your contract to be renewed before you move.
Yeah, I just want
Because otherwise you look unemployed.
I think it'll look better.
Yeah, it's going to look a lot better.
For landlords, and I want a good place. I want to love where I live. I don't want to be like, ugh, I love living in New York, but I hate my apartment. I did that in my 20s. I'm not doing that now.
I get it. I totally get
love
it.
being at home. I stay
So
at
you
home
think
all the
it's gonna
time.
be
I don't go out.
November. I think it's the end of the year, right?
Yeah,
November, December.
November, December. It'll be cheaper. There will be
Well,
more.
Oscar will be happy that you're not leaving until December.
We'll have cuffing season together here. One last cuffing season.
I tried to set him up with somebody. He said and the guy was only 10 years older than him and 36. Oscar's like 27.
Well, whatever. Everyone's on their own path, right?
Yeah, I just think by the time you're 27.
Is this a spray tan?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's 2 spray tans.
Okay, wait. Just so you know, I'm not going to Sunkissed by Jenny anymore. I got a membership at Sugared and Bronzed.
Oh.
I'm obsessed. I love it.
Oh, I don't even know what sugared is. What is sugaring?
It's when they take the hair off your hole.
It's like waxing.
It's like waxing.
Sugar's supposed to be more natural. They like just rub it off.
Does it hurt?
I don't want to get on all fours with some like teen girl is like ripping my
It's
hole
funny you
out.
say that because I have a spray tanner that comes to the house, and I like her because she's more age appropriate. She's in her 40s. She's
Yeah.
she's been
That's
doing
my
this
jam.
forever. I have no problem getting naked in front of her, but then she travels a lot.
Yes.
And when she's not there, this cutest, sweetest girl comes over,
Like 21.
who's like 23, and I'm like, I got to wear my underwear. This is too weird.
Well, I always wear my underwear.
Oh no, I'm
You go naked?
fully naked.
You have a brown dick?
Yeah, and ass.
What? What? Oh, see, I like a little.
Tan line?
Yeah.
I don't want a tan line.
Okay.
I don't want a tan line. I don't like tan lines, and so.
Well, I don't want an orange.
But I don't. But I also don't want to show my orange penis to this cute little 23-year-old girl
for free at least.
I just feel like a predator. It feels weird.
Exactly.
So I leave my underwear on for her.
I always leave the underwear on, and it's like you're just the two of you naked. It's vulnerable, but I don't think I could handle that. I can deal with. I don't think I could handle my bare rectum in some like sweet young lady's face.
You
And
know,
ask her to rip the hair out.
Jenny does it all the time. So Jenny of Jenny Spray Tan is the
Yeah.
one that comes to my house.
Yeah.
And do you do the little squat too, so you can get underneath?
Yeah, she makes you pop up your
Yeah.
so you don't get little creases.
You don't.
in your,
Yeah, I don't get any
in your
lines.
flaps. But I highly recommend. I love Sunkissed by Jenny. I think it was one of the best spray tans I've ever had in my life. But Sugar and Bronze, if you are addicted like I am, and you need like a maintenance one every other week because you feel butt fucking ugly, I highly recommend.
I feel so much better after a spray tan.
Me too.
But I always have someone spray me. You go into there and to the machine thing?
No,
or-
they spray you. A girl sprays me.
Oh.
Yeah, and there's one. They're everywhere. It's a chain.
I just
It's
don't want
$69.
so many people seeing my penis. So you spray tan now?
This is worn off.
Yeah, it's wearing off.
I
But you
know.
still have some color.
Tiny bit.
You still have color.
I'm going to the beach. I'm going to P-Town and Fire Island, so I'm waiting to.
Are you?
I'm trying to bank them right before.
When do
I
you go?
This 4th of July weekend and week for.
Are you taking Oscar?
Oscar and I we have a bungalow just us.
Oh my God, that's so
Yeah.
cute.
We're gonna get a TP on the beach and just bareback for the whole week.
All right, I'm gonna go now.
Okay, love you.
All right, love you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
This shirt is kind of dirty. I might smell.
You don't
Your
smell.
boyfriend is so cute. Thank you for joining me. Wow, fascinating. Show Pony is created, conceived, produced, performed, edited, and delivered and presented by yours truly, John Hill. Support me on the Patreon. Listen to me on SiriusXM. DM me what you want to see more of. Besides Jeff, who else do you want to see on the pod? And besides Tabitha Coffee, don't worry, I'm working on it. Jesse's coming up soon. I'm supposed to interview him tomorrow. Apparently, Rebecca's interested in coming on the show. I hope you enjoyed this very special episode of Show Pony. We'll see you next week.